Okay, we will wait until the 30-second mark. See if I can adjust that so it stays there. Okay, yeah, we're good. It is raining here, and it's just, we're going to get a wintry mix here in a little while. Somebody asked me the other day, do I believe in global warming? I personally 100% have been studying this since about 2001. And do I believe in it? No, I don't. Let me elaborate on this. This is just small talk, get everybody in here. So, uh, not too long ago, it was probably about, I don't know, I forget when it happened, and a volcano belched. Okay, and it released more CO2 and more chlorine and more sulfur and all that than man could ever make in just a matter of a couple of minutes. That was Mother Nature going, bleh. Did it hurt anything? Didn't hurt anything at all. uh, Last year, the Amundsen Scott South Pole Station, I followed them rather closely. Um, they were on high alert because the continent was freezing at an alarming rate. It's like during the winter over down there, it's like negative 101. So nothing has changed. It's actually getting colder. But what I believe is happening, like this is the Earth's axis. Okay, it's actually on its side like this. Okay, and the Earth is spinning. I forget how many miles an hour, but it's fast. But anyway, the Earth's axis is doing this. Just tilting a little bit, and then it's going to go back to the way it was. Okay, they're actually calling for a mini ice age at the beginning of the 2030s because of the sun and Earth's axis going back to the way it was. So is global warming a myth? There's no true science behind it. Politicians will say it's true all day long. Uh, it's just to implement another tax. But anyway, speaking of corrupt politicians, let me show you something here. Get my wallet out here. Let's see if I got one. Let's see if we got a Washington in here. Yes, we do. I'm gonna fold it over so you can't read. Oh, I'm gonna cover some stuff so I don't get busted by the feds. This right here. Okay, this right here. People have died over it. People have lost everything because they lost all of it. People have Wars have been fought over this. This is probably the most evil thing on the planet. Right here. This is probably. Do we need it every day to survive? Yes. Uh, there are bills to be paid. There are guys that can live off the grid and only spend $1,000, $2,000 a year. I'd like to learn how to do that personally. But like an Aborigine school, that Cody Lundeen, he lives off like not even $1,000 a year, which I find that it blows my mind. But this right here is the most evilest thing in the world, and it has infiltrated the church. It's corrupt. It might. Back in the day, monks, priests, all that stuff, all those guys used to do it for free. Didn't ask for a nickel. The church took care of them. They fed them, all that stuff. You have to realize that the dollar bill has really infiltrated the church with this prosperity gospel. Look at Joel Osteen. Yeah, if you send me $1,000, I'll pray for you. Or this, what's that guy's name? Peter Popoff. You know what? If you send $75, I'll send you a prayer rug. Pray on it, send it back. We'll pray over it and make sure that the word gets to God. And I'm like, oh, what? Or he'll send you that little vial of spring water. If you drink this, your wildest dreams will happen. All for money. You got to realize people are desperate. And if you pray to God, he listens. You just got to trust his timing. If you're going to trust this guy, oh, if you send me $75, I'll make sure it happens. Back in the day, Jesus destroyed a temple over this. He flipped over tables, whipped them all with a whip fashioned out of cords. He lost, how do I put this plate? Lost his shit. He came unglued on these guys. And it's happening nowadays. All the preachers that I know personally, the preachers that I go to the churches, they have full-time jobs. They do the church thing for free. That's the way I see it. If a guy just sits around and uses the prosperity gospel to make money, yikes. These rabbis, the church takes care of them. They're not rich. Look at the Pope. Okay, I have mixed emotions about the Pope. But do they hand him millions of dollars a year? No. When God went to Jesus, says, hey, can you go save my people? Did he ask old dad? I called God old dad. Did he ask old dad, I want to cut $1 million? No, he did it for free. He came here. He did his ministry. He taught people, saved people. Did he want anything in return? Yes, he did. He wanted you in return. Your heart. He doesn't want millions of dollars. He doesn't want all the fortunes of the world, because you got to remember, when Jesus stood in front of Pilate, and Pilate was like, are you after my stuff? I'm paraphrasing right now. I don't have my Bible. I'm in my truck. I'm paraphrasing, so bear with me. When Pilate looked at Jesus, says, are you after my kingdom? And Jesus stood there. I could just imagine this right now, that conversation. And Jesus probably crossed his arms like, dude, I don't want your stuff. My kingdom ain't of this world. I don't want your stuff. Do you know how badass that would have been to actually see that? This is like, get it, Jesus. Like, I don't want your stuff, man. But most of the preachers at a church will do it for free. They usually have a full-time job. Church that I went to growing up, it was a Baptist church. That guy was a mechanic. The church I go to now, two churches. One of them's a barber, and the other one is a computer tech or computer lab or whatever he does. And I don't know a thing about computers. And yeah. So you got to be very, very wary of these people on YouTube, because they're modeling themselves after this prosperity gospel, and a good bit of them are false teachers and prophets, and they will use pity, shame, and all that stuff. I'm gonna have to cover this later when I actually got a Bible in my hand, so I can actually look up scripture. But they will use pity, shame, pride, and all that stuff. Hey, you know what? Fork over some money. Hey, you know what? Life would be better if we all had this, but I really need this right now. Fork the cash over. You don't need it. It'll be returned to you. No. This is why I implore everybody on finding a good church. Usually the pastor has a full-time job somewhere else. Like me, I'm getting to the point where I'll be a pastor one of these days. I have a full-time job, 10 plus hours a day, 7 days a week. But am I glad to have this job? Yes, I am, because you know what, that's honest money. You can turn something very corrupt like this, very, very corrupt. You can turn something like that into something honest. Yeah, these false teachers and prophets, they will prey on the desperate and the new believers. I will cover this. I will get more in depth with it. I figured I'd just jump on and make sure everybody's in church. It's about 12:30 here, so church should be letting out. So if you found a good church, leave that in the comments below. I want to hear about it. I want to hear about how, if you didn't like it, even if you didn't like the church, find another one. There's probably one right up the road that's even better. If you didn't like our statement or whatever, ask the pastor a few questions. Like when you first meet him, like, dude, I got a couple questions to ask you. What do you think about Joel Osteen and his gospel? What do you think about Creflo Dollar? What do you think about Peter Popoff? Benny Hinn? Yeah, when Benny Hinn, that's another story. When Benny Hinn was done doing his thing, he came out, oh, I'm so sorry. When he wanted to retire, when he got sick of traveling. Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope God forgives me, which that's up to God, okay? But how many people did he rip off of money? How many desperate people did he get rip off? So, I got to take off here. I got an appointment. But if you have any prayer requests, never ever hesitate to send those in. Yeah, if you found a good church, leave it in the comments below. Other bitches, gripes, or complaints, questions, comments, leave them in the comments below. Get out there. Yes. Find a church. Find a church. Quit following these people on YouTube. Don't take my word for it. Go to church. Find a good church. It doesn't matter if it's Methodist, Baptist, Pentecostal, Lutheran. Get your ass to church. There's an evening service coming up. If you like to sleep all day, there's an evening service. There's no excuse for everybody to go to church at least once or twice a week. Make time for God. He made time for you. Jesus made a lot of time for you. Dedicate a little bit of time. You know what? Even if you can't leave the house, if you have no transportation, if it's bad weather out, turn the church channel on. BBN. I don't think they let Joel Osteen on there or any of that, but anyway, turn that on. Open your Bible, read with them. There's some good pastors on there. So until next time, like I said, if you have any prayer requests, never ever hesitate to send those in. And check on your brother. Call on your neighbor. See if they're okay. Today's Sunday. Check on your neighbor. Are you okay? Do you need anything? How's everything over there? Do you have enough fuel? Do you have enough food? Do you just want to talk for a minute? Do you want to watch TV together? Get out there and have some fellowship on Sunday. Do God's work. Be a warrior for Christ. That's what we do. We make sure everybody's taken care of. So, with that being said, I hope you guys stay warm, and I will see you guys on the flip side. I will do a better video on false prophets and teachers very, very soon. So, if we'll see you guys on the flip. It's so good. I'm only human. I will see you guys on the flip side. Stay very, very warm. Okay. Stay safe. Be a warrior for Christ. Be something that devil doesn't even want to even mess with. I'll see you guys on the flip side.